Last month, I reviewed the 1999 remake of The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Now, let's talk about its sequel. Here's my review of The Mummy Returns. BT's Entertainment Rankings of Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2001 action fantasy flick The Mummy Returns, released by Universal, directed by Stephen Sommers, featuring Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz, John Hannah, Arnold Vosloo, and Oded Fehr from the first film returning, along with Patricia Velasquez, Freddie Boath, Alun Armstrong, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in his film acting debut. The film was released on May 4th, 2001, and I've got to say it was a big success, but unlike its predecessor, it got mixed reviews. Now then, before I get started on my review, if you haven't seen my review of the Mummy remake, I would advise you to click on that card right there and it'll take you to the video in case you might miss it or if you want to see it again. I can see, as I recall, that was one of the most viewed videos on my channel last month, if I'm not mistaken. Well, no way, I don't think it was one of the top three, but it was close though. Okay, let's start the story. In 3067 BC, a fearsome warrior known as the Scorpion King leads an army to conquer the world. However, they are eventually defeated and exiled to the desert of Amshir. Dying, the Scorpion King vows to give Anubis his soul in return for the power to defeat his enemies. Anubis accepts, magically conjuring an oasis, and golden pyramid, and giving the Scorpion King an army of jackal-like warriors to conquer Egypt. However, once his task is finished, Anubis claims the Scorpion King's soul, and the army is returned to the underworld. In 1933 AD, Rick O'Connell and his wife Evelyn explore ancient ruins with their son Alex, finding the bracelet of Anubis. In London, the bracelet locks onto Alex, showing him visions directing him to Amshir. Evelyn is attacked and captured by a cult who resurrect Imhotep with the Book of the Dead. They wish to use his power to defeat the Scorpion King, which would give them command of Anubis' army. The cult, led by museum curator Baltus Hafez, includes enforcer Lochna and Mila Knives, the physical reincarnation of Imhotep's love, Anck-su-namun. Rick and Alex set out to rescue Evelyn with the help of her brother Jonathan, who had gotten his hands on a mysterious golden scepter, and the Magi are at the bay, who has returned to help them. Rick frees Evelyn after a massive battle, but Alex is soon kidnapped and forced to lead the cult with his visions from the bracelet. The O'Connells pursued them with Rick's associate Izzy. Along the way, Alex leaves clues for his parents, who follow in Izzy's dirigible. Imhotep uses the Book of the Dead to restore Sunamun's soul into Mila's body, but by doing so, he unwittingly allows Evelyn to unlock the memories of her previous life as Princess Nefertiti, the bracelet's keeper and Pharaoh Seti I's daughter. At the edge of the oasis, Imhotep realizes they are being pursued and uses his magic to crash a dirigible. Izzy stays behind to repair it, and the O'Connells infiltrate the cult. Both groups, however, are attacked by pygmy mummies. Rick retrieves Alex, while Ardeth kills Lochna. They escape the pygmies, who kill all the cult members except for Hafez, Imhotep, and Anck-su-namun. The O'Connells arrive at the pyramid, and the bracelet detaches from Alex. Anck-su-namun, Imhotep, and Hafez then arrive and kill Evelyn before entering the pyramid. Now I'll go on to the final act and ending right now. So you have 5 seconds to stop this video As always, you know the procedure, of course. 5 seconds to stuff this video, go to the description box below, fast forward to the time below. If you've seen the movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Inside the pyramid, Imhotep's powers are taken from him, forcing him to face the Scorpion King as a mortal. Hafez uses the bracelet to conjure Anubis' army, which appears outside of the oasis. Rick finds Imhotep summoning the Scorpion King and attacks him. The Scorpion King, now an enormous scorpion monster, interrupts the fight. Imhotep tricks him into attacking Rick while outside. Ardeth and the Magi battle Anubis' resurrected army. Excuse me. While Rick and the Scorpion King fight, Hafez is caught in a melee and killed. Meanwhile, Jonathan and Alex steal the Book of the Dead from Anxunamun and use it to resurrect Evelyn. Rick discovers hieroglyphs explaining that Jonathan's scepter is a magical spear of Osiris. With the help of Jonathan and the resurrected Evelyn, Rick gets the scepter and uses it to slay the Scorpion King, sending him and the army back into the underworld. As the oasis begins to implode and the pyramid crumbles, Rick and Imhotep cling to the ledge of a pit that leads to the underworld. Rick implores Evelyn to escape before it is too late. But she risks her life and pulls Rick to safety. Seeing this, Imhotep pleads for Anxunamun to do the same, but she abandons him. Heartbroken, Imhotep lets go and falls into the underworld. While fleeing, Anxunamun inadvertently falls into a pit of scorpions, killing her. At the last moment, Izzy arrives with a modified dirigible and rescues the outcasts just before the oasis and pyramid are destroyed. Though not before Jonathan swipes the pyramid's diamond capstone, they depart into the sunset with Oded Fehr saluting them before riding off. End of story. So, what did I think of The Mummy Returns? Well, I have seen this as many times as its predecessor. I actually like it. It's fun and what have you. But yeah, it does have some issues, though. I'll get to that in a moment. Now, first of all, we have Stephen Sommers back directing this. He, of course, also helmed this film's predecessor. And he's also done several, and of course, he's done several other films and what have you. So anyway, I'm gonna say he does a pretty good job, and of course, he wrote the story for this, so that was fine too. The music was done by Alan Silvestri, who, of course, certainly no stranger to doing stuff, which that was really, really a good score. Upon its reception, it was mixed and what have you, but even so, it still did pretty well. And it became the highest Friday and Saturday grosses when it came out, surpassing both Toy Story 2 and The Lost World Jurassic Park respectively. Later that year, those records were simultaneously given to the Planet of the Apes remake and Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Still, it became a big one though. The film went on to make $435 million worldwide against its $98 million budget. It also surpassed Hannibal to have the highest opening film for a 2001 film, joining Monsters Incorporated, Rush Hour 2, and the Planet of the Apes remake to become one of the only 4 films of that year to make $60 million in their first 3 days of release. Of course, this also became one of the 4 consecutive Universal films of the year to cross 40 million in an opening weekend. American Pie 2, The Fast and the Furious, and Jurassic Park 3 were the others. It would remain in the #1 spot at the box office for 2 weeks until Shrek took it. And it went on to become the 7th highest grossing film of 2001. Now, its reviews are mixed though. The film sits at 46% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying in the film the special effects are impressive, but the characters seem secondary to the computer generated imagery. Metacritic has a score of 48 and CinemaScore has a grade of A-. Now, Roger Ebert said the mistake in the film is to abandon the characters and to use the plot only as a clothesline for special effects and action sequences. James Berardinelli was also mixed on it, saying, well, that's hollow, lightweight entertainment, not unpleasant, but far from the summer's definitive action adventure flick. The LA Times Kenneth Turan gave it a positive review, praising its constant plot turns, cheeky sensibility, and omnipresent action sequences. And Todd McCarthy of Variety said, actually praised the nonstop action of the final hour, saying that it bursts with visual goodies. But there was a bit of a couple of negatives I found. Joe Morgenstern of the Wall Street Journal said it has all of the clank but none of the swank of the previous version. Charles Taylor of Salon.com was also not impressed, calling this film everything the first Mummy was fun for not being. Nevertheless, this film did get nominated for several awards. The only ones the only person that actually won was The Rock himself, where he was just credited as that before he just went to by his regular name of Dwayne Johnson. He unfortunately won the Worst Supporting Actor at the Stinger's Bad Movie Awards, but however, he won the Choice Movie Villain at the Teen Choice Awards. So anyway, with everything said, I find this film to be pretty good. Now, there are some issues I do have. Some of the CGI is a little okay, especially with the resurrected Scorpion King. Yeah, it just doesn't look great. Well, completely much. It could have used a little more spin polish, but even so, I found this to have so many twists and turns. Sure, it's a mixed bag, but I still liked it for obvious reasons. It's score from Alan Silvestri and the direction and story written by Stephen Sommers. Now for our cast, we have Brendan Fraser back as Rick O'Connell. He did very good. Rachel Weisz is back as Evelyn O'Connell. She's still good. Unfortunately, she will not appear in the third film, but I'll get to that another time. John Hale returned as Jonathan. He's still pretty good. And Arnold Vosloo as Imhotep. Very good. Oded Fehr plays Ardet again. He's really good. Playing Mila, aka Aksu Namun, is Patricia Velasquez. Actually, she did play that character in the last film as well. I forgot. Freddie Boath played Alex. He was good. And Dwayne Johnson, though credited by The Rock, played the Scorpion King. Now, I liked him in the beginning, but when he was back in a resurrected form of the Scorpion Monster, yeah, like I said, the animation just wasn't quite that great, though, as much as I hate to say it. And there's several others and what have you, but I will say the cast isn't too bad. So you be the judge about this film. This film can be a little bit of a miss, but still more hit than miss, though, in my book. But you don't have to take my word for it. You be the judge. So, with everything said, would I recommend The Mummy Returns? Well, I would suggest you give it a one time watch, perhaps, if you are a hardcore completionist, just to be on the safe side. And if you're not, then just stick with the first one. But hey, but like I said, you be the judge. What did you think of The Mummy Returns? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Please help support my channel, make it grow, and make the video views grow, please. Alright, and next time I'll have another video, and it'll be another vid for Pride Month. I won't tell you what it is, though. You just gotta have to wait for it and be prepared for it. So, if you like this, you may want to consider checking out my reviews of some of the films I've mentioned that were pretty big for this. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes remake. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Or you can check out another Universal film that I mentioned, and that would be, which was a big one, The Lost World, Jurassic Park from 1997. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Oh, and I almost forgot, this film will also have a spin-off film and prequel film in The Scorpion King released the following year. Look for a review that coming up soon. I might do that next month. So thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.